IELTS Listening. Section 4, you will hear a lecturer giving a lecture about the underground world of fungi. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 38. Now we shall begin. You should answer the question as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer the questions.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to descend, not literally of course, into one of the most complex and least understood biological systems on Earth, the hidden world of fungi. Now, when most people hear the word fungus, they think of moldy bread or mushrooms on pizza, but the reality is far more intricate and astonishing. Let's start with classification. Biologically, fungi are fascinating because they don't belong to the plant or animal groups. Instead, they occupy a completely different kingdom in the tree of life. That's right. Just like animals and plants, fungi are in a kingdom of their own. And while they may share some traits with both, they function in entirely unique ways. One of the most vital roles fungi play is through forming symbiotic relationships with plants. You may have heard of mycorrhizal fungi. These are special types that attach themselves to the roots of plants. They aren't parasitic, in fact, they provide a service. In exchange for sugars produced via photosynthesis, fungi supply nutrients and water drawn from the surrounding soil. The element most often transferred is nitrogen, an essential building block for plant growth. While nitrogen exists abundantly in the atmosphere, it's not in a form that plants can use. Fungi help bridge that gap by extracting nitrogen from organic material in the soil and passing it to their plant hosts. What's truly incredible is the physical structure that makes all this possible. Beneath the surface lies a vast web of tiny filaments known collectively as the mycelium. Think of it as a living internet, fine threads branching in all directions, connecting trees, flowers, and soil organisms across massive distances. A single cubic inch of forest soil might contain several miles of mycelial threads. This underground network isn't just for trade, it's also nature's cleanup crew. Many fungi specialize in breaking down complex organic material, fallen leaves, dead trees, even animal carcasses. In doing so, they act as efficient decomposers, recycling nutrients back into the ecosystem. Without them, forests would be buried in their own debris. Humans have also harnessed the power of fungi. For instance, the discovery of penicillin came from a common mold. Today, fungi are used to create life-saving antibiotics that treat infections, as well as in the development of immunosuppressants and cholesterol-lowering drugs. All of this from organisms that rarely make headlines. But what's perhaps most mind-blowing is the way trees talk to each other underground. Yes, talk. Through their root systems, connected by mycorrhizal fungi, trees send signals. They can warn one another about pests, or even redirect nutrients to younger or weaker members of the forest. Scientists often refer to this phenomenon as the wood wide web, a term that reflects both the biological and informational exchange taking place under our feet. Sadly, this web is fragile. Excessive use of synthetic fertilizers can disrupt the natural fungal networks in soil. While these chemicals help short-term crop yields, they often kill beneficial fungi, leaving the ecosystem dependent on human inputs. This is one reason why sustainable farming practices are gaining attention. They prioritize long-term soil health.
Now you have 30 seconds to look at questions 39 and 40.
Another point of interest is that different fungi thrive in very specific environmental conditions. Certain wild mushrooms, for example, only sprout when the climate is just right, cool, moist, and shaded. Their fruiting is incredibly sensitive, and even slight changes in humidity or temperature can halt their growth completely. To wrap up, the fungal web under the forest floor is a living, breathing system that supports nearly all terrestrial life. From decomposing matter to allowing trees to communicate, fungi are silent architects of the natural world. And although much of their work remains invisible, their importance cannot be overstated. Thank you all. Next week, we'll continue this series with a look into bioluminescent marine species.
That is the end of Section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Please make sure you have transferred all your answers to the answer sheet correctly. The listening test is now over. You may now proceed to the reading section